First of all, I think there's a big difference about American secularism or European secularism. I mean, American definition of secularism is not that they expect religion to die or to people to be personally secular, but that there's a belief that there should be an observation of separation of church and state into equal domains, that religion ought to be protected from politics and politics ought to be protected from religion. In Europe, it's a very different definition. Secularism, first of all, means that state will rule over religion. It will control religion. It will appoint its clergy. It will control the revenues. It will control the institutions, etc. It will legislate for religious activity. But also in Europe, it goes beyond just separation. There's an expectation that that God would not exist in society, that religion would be a matter of very strictly private practice, and people's religious views would be private to them. And on top of it, that religion itself actually would reform in a manner to secularize from within. So some strands of Protestantism, Reform Judaism, or the Vatican II reforms in the Catholic Church, were all sort of reflections of this kind of pressure. Now the question is, which one are we talking about in the Muslim world? And I don't think the Americans are clear. It looks to Muslims that the Americans are not asking for a separation of church and state. They're asking Muslims to be more secular personally than Americans are. And that's part of the whole problem. I mean, when you and this might be a misperception, but Muslims say, who are the favorite Muslim thinkers of Americans? It's always somebody who's talking about reforming Islam, or nowadays somebody who's actually a Muslim who's anti-Muslim. Tends to be the most popular books. And also the perception that America actually wants to destroy Islam, quote unquote. It is more than destroying Islamic institutions or Islamic power. There is a perception that what America really wants from Muslims is not to believe in Islam. That a good Muslim is one who doesn't believe in Islam. And this has to do with the perception that the West really believes that the problem is not just separation of institutions of church and state, but Islam as a religion is a problem. It is pro-jihad, it's extremist, it's anti-democratic, it's misogynist, etc. And therefore, Muslims should really stop being Muslims. So I think that the whole discourse, the whole discussion about what is it that we mean by secularism in the Muslim world has been itself extremely corrosive to U.S. relations in the Muslim world, and it's partly because it's not properly defined in America as to what it is that we mean by secularism.